Welcome to Aruba.
Good morning. Hope everyone's doing great. So, what we got today, Alan?
So let's talk about, we always talk about the good things that happen on Airbnbs.
Yeah,
Right.
so we're currently on vacation in Aruba, of course, and we had an interesting experience this time around. And basically, just in a nutshell, we learned two lessons this time around, right? The first lesson being that just because things get off to a little bit of a rough start, don't let it ruin your vacation, right? Go quickly to plan B, right? We'll talk about that a little bit more. And the second thing is when you are researching Airbnbs, and even though we are like literally professional Airbnb stayers at this point in our life, things can go a little bit wrong. You can be misled, right? You can have an expectation of where you're going to be because you know the area, you're familiar, you've stayed in similar type homes before, and it can still not be what you expect. So, talk a little bit about the experience.
So normally, look, I am an Airbnb snob, right? As an Airbnb, as an Airbnb owner, and as someone who truly enjoys vacation, I need to make sure that the experience is everything I want. Not only the place, Aruba, which is awesome, but the place that we stay.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
this is the first time that we let our daughters choose Airbnb, and it was, it was a great experience, right? I think it was a learning lesson for us all. We chose a place. It was in a place that we normally are very comfortable in, but it didn't live up to the expectations, and there were a couple of reasons. I think the first reason is because it was a new Airbnb, right? So it was new to the market. It was new to the property manager that was managing it, and you could just tell there was a lot of clunkiness.
Yeah. Yeah. First things being that we get there and the doors don't lock. Like quite literally, the exterior doors to the property do not lock. It was a unique property in the sense that it was close to the beach. It was in a gated community that we've been in before. However, there were separate apartments where the kids, that's why they chose it. They wanted to feel like they were living on their own. But the exterior doors to these little apartments and to the main house did not lock. And typically, when there's an issue like that, we call up the property manager, like, hey, this is the issue, let's get it resolved. And to be fair to this property management company, they did send someone out immediately and tried to resolve it. Problem was they couldn't get it resolved. At least not quick enough for us. Like we didn't want to spend the night in a place where we couldn't lock the doors, right? And then the second problem was we go to take a shower and there's no hot water, like at all. And we're like, what? And then the first response we get back from the property manager, like, oh, in Aruba, you don't really need hot water. Most people find that the temperature is great. Like we have stayed in Aruba on more than a dozen occasions, and we have never not had hot water. And while most people might enjoy that, not us. I need some hot water, right? So that was strike number two. Needless to say, we pulled out our computers and our phones, and the whole family got to let's go find us a new place ASAP, right? Like this is not going to work. And when we started looking at places, it's hard to find a place at the last minute, right? Because it is summer. There's plenty of people traveling. This is down season, but it doesn't make it easy. So we reached out to a couple of different companies. Alan was like, well, let's go see these places before we book. And we're like, yeah, we go see them. So we checked out a couple. They were not going to meet the mark on our list. And Alan mentioned he's definitely an Airbnb snob, but it's also an expectation you have when you go on vacation. I want it to feel like it's vacation, not like I got to do some work. And so we came out to another side of the island. We thought it was a little bit further than where we normally would be, but the house pretty good online. And not to mention the property manager was really like, if you guys choose this property, that's great. But make sure you do your research. I don't want you to end up in the same situation. We'd love to have you. So he met us out at this property, probably within 30 minutes of us reaching out. So he was very responsive, and it is gorgeous.
Yeah.
So you get to see that on part two.
Okay. So just a couple things. When you go to an Airbnb, number one, make sure it doesn't ruin your entire vacation. Yeah. Right. And I was so mad at myself the first day. I was like, man, I still got a pool. I'm still in Aruba. My feelings didn't have me in total vacation vibe.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. I'm chill, y'all.
She's very relaxed. She's very relaxed.
He is too. He just is ready to be on vacation. Right. That was number one.
Yeah.
Number two is be quick, be adaptable, right? At the end of the day, things are going to happen. Sometimes they're not going to meet your expectations, but get on that computer, get on the phone, start making your contingency plan, because you can always change the current circumstance by just focusing on the next thing, right? So we just focus on let's get into the next house. and the next house was a winner.
Awesome. So stay tuned to part 2. We'll show you this house because it is a house that you should definitely consider on your list when you come to Aruba. And here's the other thing. I think the other thing that we didn't realize is that, and we own Airbnbs in Arlington, right?
Yeah.
We're about to have our 12th come online. So if you're ever in the Northern Virginia area and you're looking for an Airbnb, specifically in Arlington, Alexandria, we got you. Reach out to us. But the property manager researched us.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the one thing that you got to understand. Like when you are going into Airbnb, you are judging it right by your reviews, but they are also judging you
by your reviews,
by how you left the last place that you came to. So he researched us prior to coming, and I'm sure if we didn't have positive reviews, that we probably wouldn't have been able to get this place, which would have been a shame because it's a pretty awesome place.
Stay tuned.
Part 2. You have the dream, we have the address. Alan Johnson, Crystal Johnson, and Aruba.
See you later.